Ramble.
Thank you to Hatch, Quince, and Home Chef for sponsoring this episode.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of You Can Sit With Us. I'm one of your hosts, Matt. I'm here with Maggie.
Hello.
Becky.
Hello.
And Rainie.
Hello.
And today we are talking about the Oscars. It was so exciting. Did everyone see me at the Oscars?
What a surprise. I saw you, Matthew. I saw you behind camera sneaking around.
I was looking.
Thank you, Becky. Me too. I was not at the Oscars. I was wondering where I was too. Why wasn't I there?
Why weren't you there, Matthew?
I did not get a ticket. I was not invited.
Seems like a very exclusive event.
I mean, it is pretty exclusive.
Pretty.
Because, everyone knows Eugene went, made a huge splash. So then all these people were texting me during it being like, are you there? Are you at the Oscars right now? And I was like,
as if you'd respond if that was the case.
Right. And I was like, I'm sitting on my couch at home.
I mean, it is like a crazy exclusive invite list. Do you remember years ago when our queen, Rachel Zegler, was up or West Side Story was nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
And Rachel was not invited to the Oscars. She only got invited because she tweeted
way.
Somebody was like, oh, can't wait to see what you're wearing or something. And she was like, yeah, I wasn't invited. And then she got invited.
It's so crazy. I mean, Eugene got invited and he did tons of campaigning for them. Like he went to so many events.
Junkets.
And all of these screenings and all these Q&As and
lots of press. And
so much press stuff. It was insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's so exciting that he got to go. He looked amazing.
I know. Best dressed.
Best dressed for sure. I remember texting Matt throughout all this. I was like, oh my God, he's in the New York Times Swipey. And I was like, I don't know why I keep screenshotting and sending them to you as if your entire family and friend group isn't doing the same thing, but I'm going to stop. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited.
Everyone is so excited. Yes. So everyone watched. Everyone was watching.
Yes.
What was your favorite moment of the night?
Favorite moment?
Yeah, of the Oscars. What was your favorite moment? Fine. I mean, obviously seeing Eugene was cool. But I mean, they didn't win, so they didn't get to go on stage.
Yeah. I loved seeing backstage photos of John Cena reenacting what happened 10 years ago being naked. I liked seeing that he had like an adhesive underwear.
That
was my
dangerous.
favorite part. My favorite
Wow,
part.
John.
She just wanted to see John Cena naked.
Exactly.
Awooga.
That wasn't my favorite part, but definitely a highlight. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Becky? What was your favorite part?
So I just watched the pre-show to see Eugene. And instead, I saw Dune 2.
Oh, okay.
Dune 2,
So your
Rise
favorite
of the
part
Dune.
was Dune 2.
I saw Dunk 2, which was amazing.
How did you,
Oh my gosh.
you liked it?
I thought Dune 2 was better than Dune 1. I was very
Really?
into
I haven't seen it yet.
It is so
Is it
good.
because there's more Zendaya in it? Is that
There's
why?
more Zendaya. I love that journey for her. She really gets in. She's like at the end. Woo! You should see. It's crazy.
I know. I don't want to give spoilers, but
It's really, really good.
I gotta
And
see it.
I thought Austin Butler and Timothy Chalamet were gonna kiss.
I did not know it was Austin Butler for like at least the first like 15 minutes he was on screen.
Oh,
I was
really?
like, when does he come on? And then Zach was like, you don't recognize that bone structure? I was like,
I know he did. People give him a lot of shit for the
Bone
Elvis.
structure.
I was like, of course. it's
People give him
him.
a lot of shit for the Elvis voice, but like he is good at impressions. Like he sounded like a Skarsgård.
Yeah. It was nuts.
So definitely see Dune 2. But we just watched the pre-show.
You watched the pre-show.
And it was actually
Cute.
perfect because we had gotten home from dinner. And I was like, oh, hurry, turn on the pre-show because we were in Chicago. So we were on the 2-hour time difference. And I was like, oh, hurry, turn it on so we could see if we see Eugene. And it was like halfway done. And I was like, oh, dang, maybe we missed him. Like I can see that he's posting pictures already there. And literally 2 seconds later, he shows up on the screen. And I'm like, ah! We rewound, recorded.
Well, it's crazy because we didn't see, because I had some friends over and stuff, and all of his style team came over to watch.
Cool.
And we didn't see him on the actual carpet because normally you can see all the celebrities kind of coming through. And then on like ABC or whatever, it's the recap. It's like delayed a little bit. But we saw every other person from his Netflix team go.
Wow.
We saw all of them. And we're like, Eugene has to be next.
He's got to be
He
coming.
wasn't there. Because they had, I guess, like 2 aisles you could go down. And the whole team went down one. And that was like had a live stream of it, and the other one didn't have a live stream of it. It was just like all the regular photography and videography people.
Wow.
So he won that one. So he's only on the recap video. So we really thought we missed him, and we were so pissed. And then he came up
Yeah.
like multiple times.
Yeah, he was
through
on the
night
ABC 7
recaps.
one.
Yeah. It was so cool. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy.
So crazy.
Crazy on the TV.
I mean, because I feel like I never grew up watching the Oscars. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't a thing my family did.
It was the opposite. I did grow up watching the Oscars, and now as an adult, I really don't watch it anymore.
Really?
Because usually I haven't seen the movies. Since the pandemic, I'm like,
There's so
why
many
watch
movies.
something sad when you can watch something?
I feel like there are so many
stupid.
movies.
Yeah, there are a ton.
Like
I
I've
feel like
probably seen
I
like
didn't
not even
start
half the movies
watching
that were nominated.
until like a few years ago, but every single year, like as Oscar season approaches, I like at least try and watch everything that's nominated for Best Picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time I watched it was when they announced La La Land was the winner instead of Moonlight.
That was a juicy.
and I was like,
yeah.
well, I guess I never have to watch another Oscars again because that was
crazy.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild. It was
I
wild to see.
I think we were in Joshua Tree, like celebrating something, and that was the one year Zach was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna watch. I'm not gonna watch," and that was happening on.
gosh,
and
yeah.
Zach was like looking on social media. He's like, "I'm so sorry. I have to turn this on. Like, I need to see what's like. What are people talking about?" And that was the year, and I was like, "Oh my gosh."
It was
Right.
crazy. It was
Yeah.
wild.
I mean, Eugene always makes me watch it now
Yeah.
because that's his like passion. Passion.
Well, what was
You know?
your Oscar movie of the year then? What was the best
Oh,
one?
the
you
best
think?
moment I had was when the special effects team from Godzilla went up. They were so cute. They all had little Godzilla
Heels.
On their shoes, I saw.
and they all had like little Godzilla figurines or whatever.
Cute.
And they all went up with them and they were all different and they were so cute. And they were all, you know, trying to give the speech together at the same time. She was like helping him. It was
He
so
tosses
cute.
his-
And they were so excited. They looked legitimately shocked.
Yes.
Like shocked to be
That's
the
a
one.
great
It
movie.
was so good.
Yeah.
That was my favorite because it was just so cute. Very wholesome.
Yeah. A sweet moment.
A very sweet moment. Yes. That was my favorite
Love.
of the night because it was so different, you know?
What was your favorite Oscar movie this year? Did you watch any?
I mean, I actually didn't see Oppenheimer,
Me neither.
right? I feel like I
Yeah.
need to see it. I mean, I did
I
watch
mean, we know
Barbie.
it happens, right? That's kind of how I feel about it. I'm like,
Yeah.
but I guess I saw Titanic and I know what happens at the end of that too.
Right.
All the disaster movies.
Okay, I'll watch it. But sometimes I don't have 3 hours unless it's for Dune.
Unless sometimes I don't have 3 hours.
how long
unless
was
it's
Dune?
for
Dune. 2 hours, like 50 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
That is really long.
That's a long time. Zach saw it twice.
Whoa.
We saw it once together, and then him and Garrett like saved him an extra ticket, and he went and saw it in 70 millimeter at like 10 o'clock one night when he had to shoot the next day. And he came home at like 1 a.m. and then had to be up again. I was like, oh my gosh, dedication.
Choices.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's crazy. I want to see the only Oscar movie I think that I wanted to see was that Zone of Interest movie because I watched like a behind the scenes of how they filmed it, and it was about the sound mixing that they did.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
they
yeah, yeah.
filmed it.
It was
The cameras were in the house and the
That's not made
microphones
for a
were
lot of
in the
things,
house.
actually.
Yeah.
Right.
And then everything was happening. Like they filmed things simultaneously so you could hear what was happening outside the house as well as inside the house as well as different rooms in the house.
Right. I
And I
heard
was
that
like, oh, I wanna
the
see
team
this.
like would set up cameras and just let the actors just live in it.
They were in the house. Like they were like in the walls.
Wow. Yeah. It was, I watched it at home and we tried blaring the speakers, but I wish that was one of the movies that I could see in theaters because sound is like a big component of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite Oscars movie?
I don't know if I have like a top favorite. I loved Poor Things. I know that like a lot of
I
my
haven't seen
friends
Poor
are
Things yet
mixed
either.
on it. The costume's really cool.
Now it's streaming.
I like how they use like cameras to kind of like mimic kind of she is an adult in like a child's or sorry, she's a child in an adult's body. And like in the beginning of the film, it's like very like fishbowl like. It was cool. And I loved the costumes.
And the way they recreated all those sets and stuff was really cool. I was reading about that.
Yeah. I love
Because
the dance
basically
scene.
they created like a whole like Portuguese village in like a soundstage, and it was like all connected, so you could walk through as if it was like an actual village.
My mom really wanted to watch it when we were in Chicago, and I was like, I
not
hear
watch with
I
your
said,
mom?
I'm not watching it with you. And she's
There's
like,
a
why
lot.
don't you want to watch with me? I was like, I don't want to watch anything that has sex in it with
There's
you.
a lot of sex in it.
And she was like, are you sure there's sex? And then she watched it, and she's like, you're right. I did not want to watch that with you either.
Kimberly.
I was like, I'm not watching that. No way.
Oh my God. Well, what is your favorite category for the Oscars? Like, what do you always like? Ooh.
Well,
This is good.
hair and makeup and costuming.
makeup.
Those are
I
always
feel like
my
costume
favorite.
and set design.
Yeah. There was one
favorite.
year I was really mad because the whale won over I think it was Wakanda Forever. And I was like, did you see all the makeup in that movie?
Yeah.
There were
That's
hundreds of people
That's true.
in like these custom like paint on their faces and these intricate hairstyles. And the whale was one man. One man. So I rallied against that one.
I hope you wrote a strongly worded letter
I wrote
to the Academy.
said, Dear Hollywood Foreign Press. That's who does it, right?
I mean, it's all the governors vote. Actually, there's like 10,000
Okay, that's what you said. The
of them.
governors.
There's 10,000.
The governors.
Wow.
There's over 10,000 people that vote. Yeah. But
How
what
do you
it-
become a governor?
I that is something I would still like to know.
Yeah.
How?
How?
Tell me.
Google.
It literally just says you have to be like in the industry and have
industry.
worked in the industry for a while.
I'm
Just
guessing
like,
you
how
have
does
to
that invite come?
know
Do you get, like, a text
another
message?
governor and you have
Does
to
someone
be...
like tap your back and you're like, you're it?
I don't know. I know people.
know.
We have a lot of friends that get screeners, so I assume they get to vote in something, right?
do
Like,
get-
I think.
Somebody.
Erica.
The rules are very murky, and it's hard to find any solid evidence online.
Because they don't want to let you in.
That's what
They're
I mean.
gatekeeping.
Yeah.
Who are
Keeping us out.
Who are they?
Keeping everyone out except for the 10,000 people that can vote.
What the heck?
But what's your favorite category? The Oscars category.
I like set design. I think
Yeah.
that was cool.
Ooh. Mm-hmm.
And then I can't remember. I was just like in passing, but they had like clips of like stunt devils and stuff. I don't know if that's a category or if they said that needs to be a category.
That was my next question is what category is missing?
If it's not stunts, I feel like stunts absolutely
never
need
even
to be
thought
a
about
I don't
category.
think there's a stunts.
Because if you think
category.
of like the top movies, you always think of like big scenes where there's like stunt devils
true.
doing crazy.
All the Mission Impossible.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
The Fast and the Furious is.
Hey, well, you know, what's his name does all his
I
stunts.
know, that's
he
what I
says.
mean. He could win another
he says,
category.
Tom Cruise says he does it all.
He could win another category.
He finally win a category. I don't know if Mission Impossible's winning acting Oscars.
But stunt
I'm unsure
deviling in
about
them
that.
would be amazing, Becky.
Yeah, stunts is definitely an Oscar category that is missing.
Whoa.
Okay,
Well,
so tell us more about the inside scoop.
before we do that, here are some things that I learned this year
Okay.
in my Oscars journey that I didn't know about. Okay. The Oscars is not just one event. Like you think of it as one thing, right? Like it's like the ceremony.
Yeah.
But there are hundreds of like parties and like things and events and stuff around them. Like every single movie that's up for something has all these screenings and these like press events and Q&As, and they try to like push the governors or the people who actually vote to actually watch the movie because a lot of them don't watch the movies.
Then how can they?
That's what I don't understand. Like, how can you vote in a category if you haven't seen the movie?
Recall the governors.
Recall. I don't know
Recall
how
the
it works,
governors.
But it's to make them watch the movie so that they will, hopefully
And
vote
it's
for you.
fresh.
Because if they don't watch it, how could they vote for you?
Yeah.
Right?
And also, what is their job? If you're not going to watch the movie, it's like kind of like the one
I don't
job.
think they get like paid for it.
Yeah, I think it's just like
I
an
think they just like
extra.
are a producer or in a movie exec, and then
They also get to
they also
vote
get
on
to
this.
vote on it because they're in the industry.
And maybe there's like such a big
That's crazy.
pool of them because they can't rely on like a set 20 people
Yeah.
to decide the awards for all these.
Yeah. And you can,
Categories.
if you like work in set design, for example, I don't think you're allowed to vote for every category. Like you can vote for your set design category, and then I think you're eligible for certain ones.
We need to find
So
a
not
governor
everything. I know. We need
and
to find
interview a governor.
a governor.
Yeah.
A governor.
That'd be amazing. And there's so many like cocktail parties.
Well, yeah, and there's
Like
the
Eugene got
luncheon.
so sick of going to all this stuff.
The
It was just
luncheon he
like-
went to.
Yeah. No kidding. It's just like, and then you have to dress to impress at all these
Yeah.
events.
Get a lot of good
We had
outfits.
so many packages coming
Really?
to our house with all like the clothing and from all the designers and like the styling stuff and all the shoes and the jewelry and
Oh, sounds horrible.
so many packages, Becky. So many packages. I feel like it's so wasteful because you get it, you use it, and then you send everything back, you know?
Yeah, but it's like PR for the designer.
Yeah, but everything's not always free. Depends. Elevating my style used to mean breaking the bank. But with Quince, I get high-end, versatile pieces at prices I can actually afford. Now I can upgrade my style by snagging killer luxury essentials that sync with my vibe and wallet. Quince has all the must-haves like Mongolian cashmere crewneck sweaters, iconic 100% leather jackets, and versatile flow-knit activewear. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with the premium fabrics and finishes. And I love that. I love my cashmere matching set. I just snuggle up next to the fireplace when it's cold or rainy out, and it's just so comfortable and makes me feel great. Indulge in affordable luxury. Go to quince.com/sitwithus for free shipping on your order and a 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/sitwithus to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sitwithus.
I, this year, have made a conscious effort to start trying to wake up at the same time every single day. And thank goodness Hatch has me covered. I love adding a unwind option. So like every day at 9:30, my Hatch will turn on and it'll start reminding me like, hey, it's this time in the night. You should start really trying to wind down. So many things try to keep us up at night. Our endless to-do list, social media, our favorite shows, a million things don't want you to sleep. Hatch does. Hatch helps you choose sleep and creative bedtime habits that make you feel better at night and energized in the morning. The Hatch Restore helps you build sleep habits that make your unwind and wake routines simple and enjoyable for a screen-free bedtime, even when your to-do list wants you to choose otherwise. And with a Hatch Plus subscription, you can unlock premium routine building features like Cue to Unwind, which signals you when it's time for bed, and Pillow Talk, an audio series, which is just like your favorite bedtime TV shows without the screens that keep you up. Right now, Hatch is offering our listeners $20 off your purchase of the Hatch Restore and free shipping at hatch.co/sitwithus. Visit hatch.co/sitwithus to get $20 off and free shipping. Hatch.co/sitwithus.
Oh, so you're a little little Nancy returner.
Well, no, when you return it to them, obviously. Whatever. We'll get into that later. You're jumping ahead, Becky.
Stop jumping
I'm
ahead.
like, wait, are you going to like Louis Vuitton and being like, I would like to return this outfit? That's what Emma Stone did at the end. I'd like to return this outfit.
I mean, if it's something that's off the rack, I mean, probably not for Emma Stone, but most people,
Yeah.
they would, your stylist, right? Because sometimes people don't know how this works, but
Yeah.
it's like your stylist is the one that helps coordinate and get everything for your look.
Right.
And so the stylist a lot of times gets the designer to lend it to you for free for you to wear, because you'll like tag them in posts and you'll be on the carpet or at events and stuff, and they'll be able to see that you're wearing that designer's clothing, and then you send the clothing back to them. So it's like being able to use it for free, but that doesn't always work. Like, so for example, for this dress, it was not free because Eugene wanted to do something that was custom couture, made with him and like for him. So he actually gets to keep it. So if he was a bigger name, yes, he would have been able to like get that for free. But because he's not,
Right.
it was like at a discounted rate.
Gotcha.
Right?
So he gets to keep it.
So yeah, it's
Where's it being
I
stored?
know what he's wearing
It's
for
in my
a
house.
colorful formal wedding.
Ooh.
could you imagine?
I want to be Eugene at the Oscars for
you?
Halloween.
Could you imagine?
What if he keeps the pants and I'll take the dress part?
Yeah.
Well, first, I don't think it would work like that, actually.
He's like, I'm not entertaining both of you
Finish learning about
hooligans.
the Oscars first, Becky.
Okay, governor, what's next?
These are things you don't know. Okay. All
These are
categories,
things you don't know.
All categories except the best picture are tabulation count, meaning that whichever one gets the most votes like wins.
Oh, except best
Yes.
picture.
So best picture is called preferential voting, meaning the voters rank the movies in order. So you do like
I
your first
see.
choice,
Yeah,
second choice, third choice, fourth choice, so on. And the one that gets 50%, the one that is 50% that's placed in the first slot automatically wins. And if there's not a movie that has that in first slot of 50%, then they delete the one that has the least amount of votes for it. And they retabulate. So it like removes things around based on, how things work. So it's a little more of a challenge.
Yeah.
And voting is only open to members for like a week. So you have to you have a week to like send in your votes.
Wow.
And it's usually at the beginning of the month, like a couple weeks before the Oscars. And then PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, which I actually interned at.
Yeah, it's like one of the
in
big
MBA school.
Were you the
was
man with the chain to your wrist?
Yeah.
The briefcase?
So there's only 2 people in the whole world that know the results from when they're tabulated into when they're announced on stage.
only 2.
So what's his name and where does he live?
Well, they're 2, I know, right? They're 2 PwC partners. So I don't know if they're the same people every year or not. Ooh. But then they sit in the wings and they give the presenters the envelopes themselves.
Wow.
So that's why there was like a debacle one year because they handed like the wrong envelope to the presenter. I think it was the year for Lala and stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't I think he misread it. I'm going to Google it. Yeah.
I can't remember. There was like a debacle about it.
It was an elderly gentleman.
Yeah, something crazy happened.
I'll Google it while you do that.
Why is it PwC? Like, what are they?
Because they're like an audit firm.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. So they're really just in charge of counting and like doing the math.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah. So they're like an independent third party, basically, that counts all the votes and does the whole process.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So that's how they do it.
That's nuts.
The more you know.
The more you know.
The more you know. I mean, I still don't understand or know why I don't get to go.
I still don't understand.
I still don't understand how to become a governor. And I still don't understand if you have to watch all the movies to vote.
Yeah.
Like, how do they keep track of that?
Oh, Matt, you were right. I was wrong.
The person like said the wrong, or they gave them the wrong envelope.
They gave him the source of the guffaw. Beatty had been given an envelope that contained the winner for the category of lead actress. The award had been given to La La Land's Emma Stone directly prior to Best Picture.
Oh.
Oops.
That's what happened. Went to the wrong person. So you're right, Matthew.
Thank you. Becky never tells me that.
I try not to.
Yes.
Okay, what else
Isn't
don't we
that crazy?
know? What else don't we know?
More. Those were the highlights.
Okay.
Because then I was going to talk about
The scoop.
not getting to go to the Oscars.
How,
Getting ready.
How sad you were.
Get ready with me while I get Eugene ready to go to the Oscars. Basically.
What time did your day begin?
Oh my God. Well, we got up at like 6:30.
Wow.
Which isn't that early, but it's still pretty early. I mean, the Oscars start at 5 p.m.
Yeah.
But the
right?
carpet, you had to start being there even.
Eugene had to be at the carpet at 1:30.
Oh, okay. So 6 a.m.
So
checks
6
out.
a.m. and then we went to the designer's atelier
Ooh.
downtown right off Broadway. It was beautiful. The designer's name is Walter Mendez. Love him. He's so nice. He's so sweet. He even gave me like one of his because he does these like crazy bedazzle cheapens it like in like what do they call it? Diamond
Like
encrusted.
embellished.
Yeah, embellished. Thank you.
Yeah.
Embellished jackets and stuff. And like everything he has is like super embellished.
Wow.
Like half of his atelier is like bridal wear.
Wow.
And then he has tons of other really cool dresses, like very like 70s vibes. And then some menswear where it's like jackets that are all embellished and like capes and stuff like that.
Beautiful.
So he let me wear one around the studio for a while. It was so fun.
You let me wear
While
one
we're getting
around the
ready.
studio.
Matt played dress up.
That's the dream.
And then at the end, he's like, you should wear this tonight. And I was like, to my couch? Like, I don't think I need to wear this to go sit at home.
What was
Thank
the
you.
process
I appreciate that.
of Eugene getting an intro with Walter and like designing the piece?
Yeah, because Eugene found out, I want to say like 2 weeks before
That's
the Oscars.
not a lot of time.
It's no time.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not enough time at all to get anything done. And I feel like this was his redemption from going to the Met and not having any agency in kind of how he was going to be dressed and what was going to happen. So he really wanted to have a lot of control. So that's why he knew he wanted to do a custom piece.
Gotcha.
So then his stylist, Colin, was the one who knew Walter before, and they had talked about doing something with Eugene before, but it didn't work out. So then he contacted Walter and was like, "Do you think this could work?" And then Walter like jumped at it and said yes, because Walter had done no one that was walking like the red carpet before at the Oscars, but like other celebrity plus ones and stuff that had been to the Oscars. So he actually had like 4 other gowns there that night.
Wow.
Oh, pretty.
Too. So he actually was at the governor's ball after the Oscars.
Cool.
But this was his first like big red carpet moment. So that was really cool. So it was like, so they created the dress in like a week.
That
it was
is
so fast.
an insane timeline.
crazy.
Even just
Designed
like
it, and like his
measurements and
his team there created it in a week. Yeah.
Wow.
So he had to go in for like multiple fittings in the studio in downtown. And I remember they were doing like concept stuff for it. And Walter was just like furiously like on the pages. You know what I mean?
wow.
Yeah.
Just like coming up with ideas so quickly. Because when you look at it, it looks like a full gown, but it's actually 2 pieces. So the top piece it just has like 3 buttons, and it's like it almost looks like a tux jacket. And the bottom is pants with like a huge train type
Right.
skirt around and behind it. So it looks like a gown, except from like certain angles and kind of when you're walking. And because the legs are just like so big, they're like, I don't know, 10 inches, 12 inches wide.
Wow.
Or whatever. They're really big. And the fabric, I kept calling it like snap bracelet fabric. Because for all the pictures, you would go to the ends of the scallops and like go like this, and they would like snap stiff.
Wow.
There's like backing in
Oh,
them.
that's cool.
So they like, you know, they get kind of like when you're walking and stuff, they kind of move. So to get them to go straight again, you have to like snap them.
Wow.
Yeah. So on the red carpet, no one was allowed on the red carpet with him to like help him do stuff.
So he had to do it himself.
But like Netflix has a whole team there to help,
Oh, okay.
you know, move their people through, luckily. So his stylist was able to talk to one of the people, and one of the people like followed him and like
Snap the dress.
Snap the dress.
Snap the dress.
Snapped it all for all the pictures.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, because Eugene really wanted, he like worked with Walter on the design because they really wanted something that was like playing with like masculine, feminine, and like any, like very androgynous, like anyone could wear it. And then also something that was going to be a big statement. And then also with the limited time, they only had 2 kind of fabric choices.
Oh, gotcha.
With what Walter had. So it was either going to be like a deep jewel tone, like blue or red. So they went with red.
Yeah.
I like the
Yeah.
red. It was very poppy, and I feel like not a lot of people wore red.
Almost
Yeah.
no one wore red. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So you could see them like in the crowd.
Yeah, like most people wore black, honestly. Like there were only a couple colors. Most people were black and white.
Right.
Yeah, it was wild.
Well, he knocked it out of the park with that 2-week timeline. My goodness.
Yeah, yeah. He was so stressed. He like couldn't sleep, stressing himself out about like all the details, every little thing. And then he was wearing 8-inch heels
Whoa.
underneath. So he was like, I don't know, 6'9", 6'10". He was huge.
Like a basketball
He
player.
was so tall.
Wow.
And the heels, I'm sure you saw on Instagram, they're like
I didn't see them.
platform, and then they're like crocodile embossed looking.
Okay.
And they're like jet black.
Whoa.
Yeah. So tall. He was so tall.
How long did it take Adrian and David to do hair
my
and
gosh.
makeup?
Yeah. Oh, so that was the other thing is like when we walked in to Walter's studio, it was like when we got there, they had already been setting up for like hours, like getting ready. Like they were so excited. Like, because normally for these things, you walk in and it's like you're just there with your team, like getting ready, getting dressed. But there were probably like 15, 20 people there just to help
Wow.
with like the whole day between the 2 teams. He had like Walter had all of his assistants there. He had multiple photographers. He had a videographer. He had his own makeup person because at the same time he was doing like a mini, I wouldn't call it a documentary. It's more like a sizzle reel about like the day and how they, you know, came about for the dress and, you know, how they created it and worked together and getting ready for the day and all of that. And then they took pictures together too, because he wore like this whole little get up. It was really cute. It was really fun. But so we got there by 8 a.m. and then Ariana got like right away his makeup artist, because he brought his makeup artist, his stylist, hairdresser, which was David Dang, And then me as the
Emotional support.
go-getter person.
Yeah, or
Go get this, go get that.
the holder.
Yeah, the timekeeper.
Hold my coffee.
Timekeeper. And then he also brought his photographer that does all his stuff, JD, too. So
And he does all the Try Guys stuff too.
Mhm,
If
yeah,
you
JD
ever
takes
see
all the
like
pictures.
all the pictures
He does
for their
beautiful
book,
amazing.
for
portraits.
anything like that, it's always JD.
yeah, he does such a good job. And so that was all of us coming in. So then Ariana gets going right away because she's like, we need to get this going. And even though it was like a very like natural look, it probably took her like an hour and a half of doing makeup before they could do like the pretend, like, oh, I'm just starting to get ready. You know?
Just like the skin prep.
Yeah,
And
the
like-
skin prep look, like
Yeah.
the natural, not as such a makeup look, you know, like,
Wow.
yeah. And then David was there quaffing the hair. And it was more of like, they were going for more of like a old Hollywood look. So that's why it's more like the like very traditional kind of coif.
I liked it. It looked like very retro, but clean. Clean
Yeah.
retro.
Yeah, exactly. So that, I mean, the hair didn't take too long, but it was like a whole production, like
It takes.
getting into the dress or getting into the outfit and stuff.
Wow.
I would be so scared to get makeup on it. I'd be like,
And he had to leave by like, we had to leave Walters by noon,
Right.
right? So we had those four and a half hours there. And once he was ready, once he was in everything, it was like 1.5 million pictures, you know, like every single angle, every single lighting, everything, just to get all the poses
Yeah.
with all the different team members.
You have to allocate time for
They
that.
did all
which
of the
is-
like video stuff. They did like other pictures in the atelier, you know, very like just like with fabric laying everywhere and
Yeah,
like
I
the
saw-
sewing
Oh,
machines
yeah.
around and stuff
proper
like
lighting
that.
set up and everything. It was a whole.
So it was really fun. And the thing that we did not plan very well for is like making sure that you eat and drink.
I was
before
about to
you
ask.
go.
I was like,
Oh,
did
yeah.
he eat that day?
And also when you're like so nervous, a lot of times you don't want to.
Or just food
So at
tastes
the
like
beginning of the
nothing.
morning, I went and got coffees for like everyone.
yeah.
That's all you had.
Everyone on the teams was like 20 coffees. Got all these coffees, giving them to people. And then they had like some snack bars and stuff. But that was it. So at the very end, when Eugene was like, I was like, you need to just take like 10 minutes before you leave and just like refresh,
Yeah.
get a little bite to eat.
He's not a big
something, like
snacker.
use the bathroom because there you're not going to use the
Yeah.
bathroom. And like do your last prep like before we take off. And then when he requested a Sprinter van
Just
to
so
be
you
his
could get
taxi
in and out.
because the fabric will wrinkle. So he couldn't sit.
So we laid from
So he
downtown.
had two options. He could have like gone to where he was meeting all the Netflix people at like a hotel and take everything off, go down there and then put everything back on, or just stand in the Sprinter van
Oh, sting it. Okay.
in his 8-inch heels.
Oh my God.
So he stood in his Sprinter van,
Wow.
crouching in 8-inch heels, going from downtown to Hollywood to this hotel. So then they could get all the Netflix pictures with all the Netflix people. And then he had to get back in there and then go to like the Dolby Theater, standing in everything.
An 8-inch heels.
go walk the red carpet.
Did he spray his feet with just like numbing spray? My
Seriously, by
goodness.
the end of the day, when he came back, he got home at like, I want to say like 9:30, 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's a long day
Yeah.
of basically being in the same outfit.
Did he
all
go to
day,
another event
not
afterwards? Because
eating.
there's the
He
Vanity
had a
Fair
whole
party.
outfit and his whole team was waiting for him at home to like redo him. And then he was just like, I can't do it.
I mean,
I can't go.
Just too
there's
tired.
so
I can't
many.
go to the after party.
Yeah, there's so many parties.
He
There was
didn't
like
do
an
it.
after party and an after party and an after.
I was like, it's okay. You should
Everybody.
want to leave them wanting more. You know,
Yeah.
leave them wanting more
Yeah.
of your looks.
So you keep
right?
getting invited
Leave
to
at the
see
highest
more
point.
sleighs.
Exactly.
How far along did you get to go? Like, did you get to go into the Sprinter van and just like wave?
I was driving the style team in our
okay.
car behind because we had to go back into Hollywood. And then when he came off the Sprinter van the first time, they had to do a refresh, like last minute touches.
Right.
Because then once he gets there,
That's it.
that's it.
It's always crazy to me how early everybody gets ready for things. Like I follow a couple makeup artists on like Instagram and TikTok. And there's this one who I love. Her name's Courtney Hart. And she was talking, this was a video from way before, but she's like, when you're doing the makeup, you do it, and then there could be 5 hours before that person's on the carpet.
Yeah.
And like in between those 5 hours, like they could do any number of things to like the makeup that you did.
Right.
So when people are like, oh, there's like flashback, or oh, why does that lipstick look bad, or whatever, it's like that could have been out of their hands.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, if you yourself are like nominated for something, like the big people come at the end, right? Like right before the show starts. But all the people who aren't, their time slots are way earlier. So you're also just in there.
Yeah, just sitting and waiting.
Just like waiting around for it to start.
Wow.
And they have like, Eugene said they had like small bites and like an open bar and stuff in the back. But you don't want to do too much because you have to sit down in the theater for hours.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that can't be cozy.
You don't have to, and then in that gown, you don't want to be trying to get up and out every break to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
No. Then they have to get a seat filler.
Then they have to get the seat fillers, and it's going to be a
Fill
whole
your seat.
hubbub to get in and out.
Yeah, I wouldn't want
You know
to
what I
do
mean? And he had an amazing seat. He was like house left, like 6 rows back.
Wow.
So like literally in all the shots from the stage, you could see him because he was like the only one wearing red. And like every time, most of the nominees actually were sitting over there. So like when they were running down to like the stage, you could see him.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I sent him
So
a
so cool.
Instagram picture I saw because I follow Key from Everything Everywhere All at Once. And he always does his selfies, and Eugene's in the background of one of them.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I spy.
My friend.
I
Right?
see you.
So good.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Yeah, but he came back with everything except for 1 ring. He had like, I don't know, 7 rings or something.
He lost a
And he
ring.
He lost
Maybe
a ring.
like it was just a tad
Either on
too
the red
big and he's just
carpet
talking with his
Or
hands.
like clapping because there's so much clapping.
Right.
And it just flew off.
He lost it somewhere,
Wow.
left behind.
Poor ring.
It's like Cinderella, except with a ring,
Oh,
you know?
beautiful.
And the Oscar. When he wins an Oscar, they don't come with the ring,
They'll put the little ring on top
ring
of
will
the,
be on top.
the Oscar, like a little crown.
right?
My
But
gosh.
the dress is huge.
It looks
I literally had to
massive.
move it this morning because we have nowhere to keep it. It's like the size of a room.
Oh yeah, where are you putting it?
Yeah, what is the plan
What are you
for
gonna do
it?
with it?
Right now it's laying on the guest bed.
You should like
bigger
send
than a
it
person.
to like what me and Becky did with our wedding dresses, like a dress
Have someone
preservation and stuff it.
Right?
Yeah.
Crumple it up.
Yeah, and put it in like a little box. And so you can open it up and it's like a museum display.
It'll
Look at
open up
it.
and it'll just like explode. It'll
Yeah.
expand
Whoa.
so big. I have no idea
Vacuum seal it, I bet.
how the fabric is like very stiff. So I don't think you could even like fold. I don't know. Honestly, we should probably ask Walter. What to do.
Yeah.
He should know.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely get it cleaned before you
Yeah.
put it away anywhere. Otherwise, it'll be stinky.
Yeah. Rummaging around on the floors everywhere.
Yeah, laying on the
Through
bed.
all the spots.
Yeah,
It's crazy because the top is so tiny compared to
Yeah.
the bottom.
Really?
Like the top is just like a little jacket. You can just like hang on the closet.
hey, maybe you could rewear it.
We wear the
Telling you,
jacket.
colorful, formal.
Colorful formal wedding.
Matt, you
can
wear it. I
wear
feel
it.
like you're more likely to wear it a second time than Eugene is because it's so connected to.
I don't fit in it.
Oh, your muscles are too
I'm
big.
too big.
You're too big.
Eugene's way more slender than I am.
Yeah, he looks snatched,
Yeah. Well, he
as they say.
hasn't been drinking and he's been working out like crazy.
Oh,
So
good
that's
for him.
like kicked him in gear, you know?
Yeah,
Make his skin look amazing.
we love it. Oh, did you do any
Also
like
his weight.
facials or anything before?
He did a couple, I think it was
Good.
like 5 days before he went to a facial.
I love
I
that.
got one done. Yeah.
It's just like such a boost. If you can do it like before big events, just go get a little facial.
Yeah.
It just gives your skin a little,
It does. Makes you look good.
yeah.
Glow.
But don't do it right before. Don't do it like the day before.
No.
Or like if you're getting
Especially if
married,
you're
like
doing
don't
any
get your
acid
eyebrows
stuff.
waxed the day before. Don't do anything the day before. Do it all the week before.
Gonna wake up with no eyebrows on your wedding day.
You have no eyebrows. Well, no, it's when you wax, since you're pulling up like a tiny bit of the skin, makeup won't sit on it as
Oh, the makeup
cleanly.
won't.
It's hard. Yeah. If you get a fresh wax and then put makeup on it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought you just would look like red and irritated.
I mean, that too.
Yeah, you could have a reaction if your skin's already like your barrier's already compromised and you
Right.
put something on there that you don't react to.
At least a week. At least a week.
I've never done it. Well, Eugene got invited to the Oscars like 2 weeks before.
Yeah, I remember
Right.
I asked him, "Oh, are you going?" And he said no. And then I came in like a week later, and I was like, "Bummer, he's not going to the Oscars."
Yeah.
And you're like, "Plot twist."
Plot twist.
Is.
He is. Yeah, he only found out 2 weeks, so he had no time. But when he got the invite, he didn't even know if he should go for 2 reasons. One, he was like, I kind of want to go for the first time to be nominated myself or something, right? But I was like, get over yourself. If you're invited to the Oscars, you go to the Oscars.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? You have a
absolutely.
ticket, you go, you can make a moment out of it. So he was like, yeah, I want to like really have a lot of like queer representation since you don't have a lot of that on the red carpet. So that's what really drove him to do it. But the other reason was he was like, I'm so busy, and this takes so much time. Like even though there are events before the Oscars, it's also just like pulling together everything for the actual event.
Right.
It takes so much time.
Well, it's
I'm
a lot of
glad
brain
It's not
they
like you're getting
made the
paid for those
time.
things. You
No.
know what I mean? Like it's a lot of your time and effort
Yeah.
to do that detracts from all of your other stuff. You know, like he's like working on his feature film, he's working on all his novels, he's working on TV development stuff. So he can't.
Right. But
I mean, he did spend all his time on that. So now all those other things are actually delayed. I left him this morning. He's like furious at the computer
oh my God.
typing for his novel. But I think it's good that you went.
I think it's incredible.
Yeah. Even it puts him behind other things.
I mean, it's like something to check off
C'est
your
la
bucket
vie.
list at the very
C'est la
minimum.
vie.
Yeah, live, laugh, love. And it's more exposure.
Yeah.
So all those other things,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, when they show your picture of being like, Eugene Lee Yang has done this. And it's like him on the red carpet.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it is the only thing that has been harder. There are like a lot of haters.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
literally talking to Keith about
Right?
this today. Like, I think it is truly I don't know if it's like LA Blue State bubble, but I reposted Entertainment Tonight, I think it was, posted Eugene's look, and I reposted and I went to look at the comments and I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Why? I thought it was going to be what, you know, the TikToks that I had seen were all really nice
Positive.
and like,
Yeah.
wow, beautiful. You go, Eugene. Yay. And then no, it was horrible people.
Yeah. Some people are so mean.
Yeah.
I can't believe
there are a
those
lot
people
of,
still exist.
Yeah. I feel like anytime I scroll through anything, to be honest, I'm like, why is everyone have so much confidence behind a screen? Like if you think about something that it's not so nice, like why do you comment a mean thing? Why don't you just keep scrolling and you're like, okay,
Yeah. It's horrible.
it's
I
terrible.
told you to stop reading the comments.
Do not read
Oh,
comments.
definitely don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told him to stop reading the comments because it's not going to help you.
Unless
Yeah.
a celebrity said something nice about you. Then you can read it. Then
Right?
read that one.
Well, I always think it's like the people are saying something about you, but you're not actually what they're thinking about. It's a reflection or something's going on in them that's making them write something online. Right?
Yeah.
So even though it feels like an attack on you, it's really not. It's really they're kind of attacking themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's hard to read even one mean comment
I know.
in a sea of like 10,000 nice comments. It's
know.
really hard to not think about that one that
Exactly.
got under your skin.
I know.
Well, yeah. And some of them were just fucking hateful.
Yeah.
That's what I
don't
was
get it.
like, oh my God, you cannot like an outfit, whatever, like live, laugh, love. But I was like truly shocked.
Yeah.
I was
like
just
if I saw an
what the
outfit,
hell?
I would never like comment how gross
Yeah.
it was or how much of a booger it looked like.
But all of us gremlins on the couch too, judging everyone's outfit. Like
Yeah.
I was in like a full onesie, just like watching from home.
Yeah.
So
I was in my full black getup for being part of the dream team, for the crew for the day,
You're all black with crew on the back.
basically.
I love that. I love
Next
that.
to David Dang with his black feather jacket.
Oh, of course. Of course. Was he doing his steps in the background
Yes.
to close his ring
Definitely.
for the day?
Oh my God. We definitely got enough steps in. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yes. But it was fun. It was a fun day. It was cool to get ready. Even though I didn't get to go. You know, maybe next year. There's always
next year.
There's always
There's
next
always
year.
next year.
There's always another Oscars
But
to get
it was
invited
fun.
to.
yes.
Well, that's cool. That's exciting. It was fun. My grandma called us when she saw Eugene on the TV.
Aw.
She said, "Is that Eugene?" I said, "That is Eugene." She was like, "Wow,
That is the Eugene.
that is the Eugene Lee Yang."
Yes.
It's always fun
Dope.
seeing someone you know on the TV.
It's true.
I
It
love
is
it.
fun.
I love when I see my actor friends on like Grey's Anatomy. I'm like, oh, look at you.
I can't believe Grey's Anatomy is still on.
Still on.
Grey's Anatomy
Still
is on.
going.
It's like 20 years. How many
Still
years?
kicking.
18 years? 13 years?
I don't know. We gotta ask Miles. He's the Grey's fan of The Office.
Because I remember it started when I was in college, and I was like,
Yeah, I remember watching it with my parents.
whoa, flash
Crazy.
from the past.
Crazy. But yeah, I think it's cool seeing people that you know and your friends on like TV.
I know.
When are we going to see you on TV, Becky?
I don't know. I asked Eugene why I wasn't his +1 to the Oscars.
You're on the YouTube
But
TV.
now I know. But now I know he didn't get a +1, and that's why I wasn't invited. That makes more sense now. I get it. You know who I would have been? I would have been like in Devil Wears Prada, whispering who the people were and like everything they're in. Like Eugene doesn't need that, but I always do that for Keith if we're ever anywhere.
I need that. I always forget.
I always am like whispering in. Like I remember there was one party, I think we talked about it on the podcast. Keith was talking to someone and then he came back over and I was like, what were you talking to Michael B. Jordan about? And he was like, who?
huh?
And I was like, you need help. You need help. How do you not remember? He like can't remember names and people to save his life.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of like that.
Yeah.
Hey there, overwhelmed foodies. Are you drowning in a sea of meal kit options, feeling like you're in a bad dating game where every contestant looks the same? Fear not, because amidst the chaos, there's one shining star worth your culinary affection. Home Chef is not just another fish in the meal kit sea. They're a gourmet catch you've been dreaming of. Say goodbye to swiping left on lackluster meals and swipe right for the one brand that'll make your taste buds swoon. Home Chef has over 30 options a week and serves a variety of dietary needs, so you don't have to worry about what to make ahead of time, which we love. My husband has a lot of dietary restrictions, so I love that Home Chef has just something for everyone. Not only is it convenient, but it's economical too. Home Chef customers save an average of $86 per month on groceries. For a limited time, Home Chef is offering our listeners 18 free meals plus free dessert for life, and of course, free shipping on your first box. Go to homechef.com/sitwithus. That's homechef.com/sitwithus for 18 free meals and free dessert for life. You heard that right. homechef.com/sitwithus. Must be an active subscriber to receive free dessert.
I've actually thought, I haven't done this, but I've always thought I should make my own Facebook, like when I get home, you know, and like put the person's name and like what I talked about with them and stuff.
Oh,
because
like
then
a
you see them
dossier?
again. Yeah, because then I see them again and I like, be like, shoot, I remember the person. I don't remember anything
See,
else.
this is like the Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah.
That's what it had in the little book.
That's what I need.
And she would be like,
Yeah.
I should really start doing
so
that.
and so.
Because you meet so many people.
You really
going
do.
to parties and stuff. You meet so many people.
Yeah.
Especially you.
Never know when you're gonna see
get
them
more
again.
phone numbers at parties than any person
More
I've ever
phone
met.
number.
Not in like a romantic way, but just of like Matt like will make 8 friends at a wedding. When we were in Greece, he was like, we're going
my
over
God,
this
yeah.
person's house the next day. And I was like, Matt, we are not going over to that
Too
stranger's
hungover.
house.
Didn't make it. I
Oh my gosh.
was way too hungover.
But you and David get
You
all
little
the numbers.
social butterfly.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
all the
Yeah.
hangouts.
So fun.
Well, thanks for recapping Eugene's Oscar weekend for us.
I know.
With the rest of our time, Matt, give us an audience cue. What does the audience need help with?
Well, this one relates to celebrating. Since
We
we're
love
just
to celebrate.
celebrating Eugene at the Oscars. This one is how to celebrate friends. Thank you for the wonderful podcast you put out every week. I enjoy listening to it while working on crochet projects.
Fun.
That's a skill I do wish I had.
Me
You can make
too.
your own stuff. I'm turning 25 in May and would like to find a special way to celebrate with my 2 best friends. None of us have much extra funding, and I don't drink for medical reasons. I'm also somewhat limited in mobility due to a disability. You all seem like you know how to have a lot of fun. So do you have any suggestions for me on what we could do for my birthday?
Sleepover.
Sleepover.
Sleepovers are so fun.
Becky's excited for a sleepover.
I love adult sleepovers.
Yes.
Wear really cute jammies, whatever
That's
your favorite
true.
cozies are. Make a playlist of like movies that you want to watch.
Yes.
Have a million snacks or whatever you like to munch on.
Lots of games. Bring out your favorite games.
Lots of games.
Yes.
I love adult sleepovers. They are my favorite.
Yes.
Whoa.
If you're into karaoke, do that. I am someone,
karaoke.
Zach and I are people that can do karaoke fully sober, maybe not so much
guys
for
do a
other
lot of
people.
karaoke.
So depending on like what your vibe is. Also, if not, then movies and TV shows are amazing. You can set up your living room in a very cute way with like fun little lights, low lighting. You could set up a fort, whatever you want. Yeah.
Oh, a fort.
Yeah.
I love that.
Forward. So
A
fun.
fort, a pillow fort, a
I
blanket
mean,
fort.
You also could do your own like beauty night. Put a beauty segment in there.
Oh, and do like little
Do
face
like mini
masks.
facials, face masks,
Yes.
paint the nails, curl the hairs, all the
Curl the
things.
hair.
Curl the hair. So you could have a little photo shoot too.
Yeah, you could. You could have. It's so easy and cheap actually to make your own like step and repeat wall.
Oh, yeah.
You know, just like a nice background wall with maybe what balloon art or something you got on Amazon.
Yeah.
They're so easy, so cheap.
Yeah.
Smack it up there.
Keith and I do at parties.
You could do some
I
photos
mean, you
for
have to
your
be really
picture.
trusting of your friends to not knock your stuff over. But if you have like, we use an old iPad, but you can make your own photo booth.
Oh.
And you just set it on the face forward and then it saves. And then Keith will make like a group album with
Oh, that's
everyone who
fun.
was there. And then you could just grab the pictures that you want.
Cute.
But
Disposable cameras are fun.
Oh, yeah.
Be sure to use the flash at night if it's at night. You can make a scrapbook out of that afterwards.
Yes. These are all great ideas.
sleepover.
What's your favorite game to play? Like adult game?
I do like the lying games. I like that werewolf game. I like Mafia. I like Mafia. I like those. Those are the games Keith hates the most. He's like, I don't think lying is fun. Keith and I have been playing, it's called like Hues and Clues or something like that. But it's literally just a giant piece of paper that has a whole spectrum of colors on it. And you say one word and the person has to put down what they think that color is. So like you would be like
interesting.
Barney.
Yeah.
One that we had was what's his name from McDonald's?
Ronald?
The Grimace
Purple one?
Grimace, the purple one.
Yeah.
So we had said Grimace for one of them, and we found out later when we were Googling that Grimace was actually like multiple colors over his iteration.
What?
Oh, no way.
I
Because
feel like I
I
remember
had
him being
thought,
orange too.
yeah, it was like I had thought he was one shade of purple. Keith thought he was another shade of purple. Keith's brother thought he was a different shade of purple. But it's really fun to like see what people come up with. Like you'd be like P, and then you have to put it down. It's cute.
Gross.
It's cute. And I've seen people playing. I've always wanted to do it. I've never done it. Is what's the game where you put the heads down?
Guess who?
Guess who? But you have to use like descriptors for them.
You're like
Like you'd be like, this guy works at a coffee shop. Does your guy
Right.
work at a coffee shop?
Yeah, we played that at Lauren's Bachelorette in Tulum. They had the Spanish version, and it was called Adivina Quién. And they all had like different names and
Oh my
like different,
gosh.
I mean, it was still like a mixture of people, but it was really fun.
Okay, here's another one.
All right.
Since the Oscars are so secretive, this listener has a question about secrets.
Secrets aren't fun.
I love your podcast and have listened every week since the start. And
You're a
this
real
is
one.
the first time I've ever felt inclined to write in. Whoa.
Welcome.
Big. I desperately need tips on how to keep someone else's secret.
Uh-oh.
I'm a 25-year-old lady engaged to a 26-year-old man. We were introduced to each other by a friend. Let's call her Kay. Kay and I were in the same sorority, and she was dating my fiance's fraternity brother, Jay.
Okay.
So Kay and Jay. They were together for about 4 years, but broke up in 2020. So that's 4 years ago already. Kay and Jay's breakup was on good terms. They don't talk much and almost never see each other, but don't have any hard feelings. My fiance has remained best friends with Jay. They hung out this weekend while Kay and I hung out separately. In this time, Jay told my fiance the juiciest secret ever.
Uh-oh.
It is Jay's secret and it is deeply personal. Nothing bad or scary. My fiance was given permission to tell me the secret because it holds some relevance to planning our wedding. But we were not given permission to tell the secret to Kay. Granted, we didn't ask. I know that Kay would find this so juicy, would absolutely want to know. And it is relevant to her past relationship with Jay. But I also know that it's not my secret to tell. So I'm trying everything in my power to keep this secret a secret, especially because Kay will eventually find out. But until then, how would you recommend keeping a really juicy secret? One that you really can't share, but want to share so badly. And that you have to hold in for an indefinite amount of time that could be anywhere from weeks to years.
Whoa.
I feel like I may explode.
I would explode. That would make my brain explode.
you-
But at least I could talk about it with Keith. You know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
true.
I feel
Yeah.
like we've
Yeah.
heard secrets before where someone's been like, you can't tell anyone this, but you can tell you and Keith can know about it. And I've been like, okay,
Right.
like that's enough for me. I'll have the one other person. But if I was told like, don't say this at all, I think I might explode.
Yeah.
I might just combust.
Yeah. I feel the same way.
Especially if it was juicy.
I want to know what the secret is.
I do too. I'm like, he's gonna have to hold it for years, and it's nothing bad. So, what would like a juicy
How could it be so juicy?
secret?
Yeah.
But then how do you keep the secret? I guess
You talk about it with your
basically said you just
fiance.
talk about it with
just
your
talk about it
fiance.
with your fiance. If you feel like you're gonna talk about it with that other person, be like,
Yeah.
So just keep it in the circle.
keep it in the circle.
Yeah, keep it in the circle.
Yeah.
Cone of silence.
Do you have any mechanisms that you use when you feel like you're about to tell a secret? Like you're about to say something you shouldn't say?
I leave.
Whenever
How'd I
we
go?
see Becky just stand up and walk out, we know why. She's
I
about
gotta
to
go.
say
Got a
something she
secret.
wasn't supposed to
gotta go.
say.
I gotta go. Adios. I'm up. I'm out.
I don't think I've ever felt compelled enough
Me neither.
because I feel fulfilled enough. As long as someone else, Zach,
I was about
Or
to say,
my
also,
mom.
Zach knows all the juiciest gossip. Zach is
Yeah.
like,
gossip.
Zach is juicy gossip little bitch number 1.
Yeah.
I'm happily juicy gossip little bitch number 2.
Oh my gosh.
But he knows all the juicy secrets.
Yes. Secrets.
Secrets.
I feel like, especially if someone's told me, I'd rather, feel satisfied that I know and other people don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know about that. I feel like
Yeah.
the guilt that I would feel if it got out is enough for me to
not say
not say anything or like
Oh, yeah.
to keep it either with my husband or my mom. My mom knows
Right.
like everything. I'll call her like every 20 minutes on my days off. I'm like, hello, mom.
Magali.
Magali is gossipy bee number
Ayúdame.
3.
She's my cone. Cone of silence.
Oh, no, sorry.
She's actually one of the commenters online.
Exactly.
She's like,
Your
she's got a blog.
your secret's safe with Maggie, Zach, and Magali.
In parentheses.
Yeah. You just have to find a way not to say anything.
Yeah.
You just gotta keep it to yourself, girl.
Talk about it. Talk about it with your pet if you have a pet.
That's true. I guess you just talk out loud to the plants.
Maybe not out loud. In your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In your car.
in your car.
In your car.
Make a
Yeah.
song about it. There are other creative outlets.
Get a coloring book. You don't need to share this juicy little nugget.
Exactly.
You don't gotta share it.
Exactly. Just like how most people, after they go to the Oscars, they think, what's next? I've made it to the best. So does this listener. I'm a 25-year-old female with a midlife crisis. I am not sure
I hope
what
it's
to
not your
do.
midlife.
I hope quarter life.
It's not the middle of your life.
That's true. You're too young.
Yeah.
Quarter life.
You're having a quarter life.
You're
crisis.
in your quarter life crisis.
Yeah.
About what to do with my current career. As a background, I'm a registered nurse. Maggie, and I've wanted to be a nurse since I was very young. I volunteered at a hospital in high school and based my life and schooling all on wanting to be a nurse. Nursing school was extremely hard for me due to my learning disability, and I do not want to go back to school.
I feel that.
I'm currently in between jobs, but was a PCU trauma nurse for 2 years. What's PCU?
I'm guessing it's like patient care unit, but I don't actually know. I don't know what peri-op. I don't know. It could be
Could be anything.
Yeah.
After surgery.
It could mean different things.
I loved it, but was burnt out and had compassion fatigue. Ooh. I also feel, though I have some PTSD from extremely bad code I was in.
Ugh, that's awful.
After my trauma job, I transitioned into PACU, post-surgery, which only lasted for 3 months due to an extremely toxic work environment. Long story short, they said, don't believe in mental health days. That's not
What?
good. Everyone has mental health days. I left that job about 3 weeks ago. I am financially stable for now and living with my boyfriend, so the rent isn't too bad. I am here now with no job. I am constantly going back and forth about thinking I should quit being a nurse altogether, but feel I would be failing myself and my parents if I did. The only 2 other areas I'm interested in are hospice and teaching nursing. With hospice, I'm not sure I can mentally take it. And with teaching, I don't feel like I know enough and don't want to go back to school to get a master's. But I also have no idea what I would do if I left nursing. I don't know where to start in a new career and what that career would even look like. I am lost. I know I need more time to think about it, and I need therapy but can't currently afford it. Does anyone have any ideas or advice for me? I would especially love to hear from Maggie.
Hey, girl.
fellow nurse.
LA girl. I feel like this is such a common thing that I've been
Really?
hearing, especially after
a lot of
2020, when
nurses.
everyone like goes through collective trauma, especially healthcare. I have a lot of friends who have been kind of dealing with the same things, have switched careers, have switched specialties, and just know that you're not alone and you don't have to make the decision right away. It's tough. I feel like there is a lot of avenues in nursing that you can explore, and I don't think that you need to be an expert in whatever field that you would be teaching. Like you could be a nursing and clinical instructor for general med surg since you did work on a cardiac unit if you do enjoy teaching. But there are so many avenues. You could work in research. You could work in quality improvement, which is like a lot of these are not client or like patient facing. So if you are feeling like a lot of emotional burnout, which is completely normal and should be talked about more, there are other, like you could be a school nurse if you like working with kids. I mean, there are a lot of avenues, and it will take time and patience to kind of figure out. First, you have to nail down and sit with yourself, obviously tackle your mental health and kind of take care of yourself mentally first. I'm glad that you have the space to take time away so you can kind of come back to it a little fresh and decide kind of where you want to go and then go from there. Also, don't be scared to reach out to old people that you went to nursing school with that you maybe haven't chatted about, like catching up with people and seeing like where they're at. Because a lot of people have moved around. Like I've been out of nursing school for almost 10 years now, and I have had many people that I've reconnected with to hear where they are now and kind of where they've gone. And you don't necessarily have to go back to school, but it is really hard. If you ever want to jump specialties, they are always looking for at least like 2 years experience. But if you could even get like a per diem float job, per diem just means you do not have benefits and you get to kind of float around to different areas of the hospital. That's like another way to see if you are interested in another specialty. Yeah.
Got it. Wow.
So there
There's lots of
are options. I mean, if you feel like you want to jump careers entirely, don't feel like self-conscious or feel like you're not able to do that out of fear of your parents or like letting yourself down. Like, I don't think that you should look at it that way.
Right.
Because ultimately you're going to be happiest where you are passionate about.
And even if you went back to some type of nursing job now, you can always leave that one.
Yeah.
To do something later. Something else later. So
But I do
it's not like
recommend
you have to do the other thing
keep
now.
your certifications current so you always have the option to go back, because it's a lot harder once they expire.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
And after so much school, I know it feels hard to like not do what you went to school for
Absolutely.
after so many hours. But teaching also is good, especially if you did have a learning disability, you had a hard time through it, because you can really understand the challenges of students.
Right. And you can
coming in and
present
you'll be really
information in a
empathetic.
completely different
Right,
way,
exactly.
whether it be theory or it can be clinical. So in classroom or outside of the classroom. Yeah.
Good
Great.
advice, Maggie.
Yay.
Thank you.
I hope that was helpful.
Hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for sitting with us today, for getting ready with us, or getting ready with me while I got Eugene ready for the Oscars.
Thanks for giving us the inside scoop.
Yes, next year we'll be there, you know. It's fine.
We'll all
Gonna
be
us.
plus
We'll all be
to
Eugene's
Eugene.
plus one. Exactly.
+3.
Thank you so much for sitting with us. Until next time, register to vote and vote. It is voting season, people. Get out there. Just like the governors, you have to vote.
You have to vote. Don't be like those governors
to
that
vote.
don't vote. Vote in your local elections.
Exactly. And remember to be kind to other people, tip your servers, get vaccinated, stay safe, wash your hands, pee after sex. And until next time, bye.
Bye.